So I've just completed a fairly robust precision test of this unrivaled UB 16.69 inch barrel configured in this upper receiver and rifle, my Terran Tactical TR1 with a Timney AR Pro trigger, Magpul MOEPR buttstock. This is a Nightforce NX8 4-32 in a Spur mount. Sons of Liberty Gunworks M89 handguard, Unrivaled Zone Siege brake, shot from an Atlas bipod with an Armageddon geared Game Changer rear bag. So about as good as I could set this thing up to measure precision. And we fired 3 different ammo types in 3 different configurations or methods of mounting the barrel to the upper receiver. I should also say Unrivaled's titanium ultralight bolt carrier with the BCM bolt that is head spaced to this barrel and included with it. We also have a Superlative Arms adjustable gas block. The 3 ammunition types we used: PMC bronze, 55 grain 223 from lot 223A-1176. My hand load 69 grain Sierra Match King using Vitavori N130 powder, and Black Hills 77 grain open tip match. This is the commercial, but essentially like almost exactly the same as military Mark 262 Mod 1 ammunition. So 77 grain Sierra Match King. We'll start off with the first configuration is just mounting the barrel to the receiver with 30 round groups fired 10 shots at a time, giving plenty of time to cool. No shot broke outside of the X in the X ring. Our extreme spread of this 30 round group is 4.48 inches. The mean radius or average distance to center is 1.08 inches. So to improve upon that, outside of the noise inherent to 30 round groups, because they're variable by 15 to 20%, that's according to the Hornady podcast. I don't have the resources to prove that out for myself, but I'm taking them at face value. 3.8 inches or better extreme spread is what we'd have to do to improve that. 69 grain Match King, my hand load, extreme spread of 1.95 inches with a 0.49 inch mean radius. So that needs to get to 1.65 inches or better to say that we definitely or likely improved the group. More than 20% improvement would mean we improved it. And then the last group was with Mark 262 clone or Black Hills 77 grain. And that 30 round group falls into 2.36 inches extreme spread with a mean radius of 0.59. The next thing I did was I used a Wheeler lapping kit to lap or true the face of the upper receiver. That's supposed to help, and basically the only thing you can really do besides assembling good components properly and torquing the barrel nut to the right specification, not doing any weird stuff, is you face the receiver with that lapping mandrel and some compound to make everything made up more cleanly, all of which is essentially about strengthening the bond between the barrel and the receiver here, because that is the weak point on the AR design versus something that's, say, threaded in like a conventional bolt action rifle. So with lapping the receiver with 55 grain PMC bronze, it did not in fact get better. It actually got worse, but within the noise of a 30 round group. And that's just a fact of this is cheap, not very good ammo. I've had lots of this that shot better. This is actually kind of bad for this ammo, but it's real and it's what happened. It's, you know, representative of your 55 grain blast or 223. I'll say that Winchester or Federal M193 clones also shoot pretty bad like this. So anyway, that's what we have. Moving over to the 69 grain, we got down to 1.39 inches extreme spread with a 0.33 mean radius, which is really good for an AR, especially one that is light and flat shooting like that. So that's pretty cool. Then we go over to the 77 grain Black Hills, and we have sort of a flyer. So I hate to exclude a flyer, but sometimes you have that happen with this ammo. I mean, this is both military and commercial. I've used this ammo and seen it do some wacky stuff where it just throws one round way outside the box, and that box is pretty robustly established with a 30 round group. So 30 rounds without that quote flyer, 2.06 inch extreme spread. Our threshold for improvement was around 2 inches, so we're on the small end where we probably made things better by facing the receiver. Mean radius of 0.52 inches. If we include the flyer, we're at 2.97 inches with a 0.58 mean radius. So that would be no change. However, this falls way outside of the box that we initially established, even without lapping the receiver. Now, one thing of note, this is, as far as conventional brass-cased ammunition goes, not, say, the shell-shock steel casings that we see becoming more popular now, which is cool. But this is one of the hotter loads that you can get that is 5.56 pressure and kind of on the high end of it. And this is where you'll typically see, or where we would hypothesize that making the barrel to receiver relationship stronger will help improve the groups. These two are pretty low pressure. This one especially. This is low pressure. It's just loaded with crappy bullets, so that's why it shoots big groups. And that's why I think after bonding the barrel to the receiver, so first we lapped it, after we lapped it, we shot the groups, and then I actually bedded using green Loctite retaining compound, bedded the barrel to the receiver. So it's actually glued in there. And when I did that, I heated the receiver up to let it kind of expand and then add glue. And so that when it sunk down, that barrel is very strongly mounted and bonded into the receiver. So they're now one unit. And with PMC bronze, we need to see it get 3.8, 3.9 inches or smaller to get better. And we actually got it down to 3.49. Now, I don't really think that that has anything to do with bedding the barrel of the receiver. Probably has more to do with the fact that that 30 round group was just better than the rest, but this ammo is pretty wildly inconsistent. And that's probably just within the box of what you'll see in variability from 30 round groups with this, bad lot of iffy ammo. We move over to the 69 grain bullets. We want to get to 1.18 inch extreme shred, which is like really good. And it actually got a little bit worse. So that went up about 17%. So it's possible that this fell on the high end of, it's possible there was really no change from bedding the barrel to the receiver. And this group just fell on the high end of what the ammunition will do. However, when we look at the high pressure 77 grain Mark 262, our overall group is much better. And again, we have one that just falls not as far outside as the previous group, but still falls pretty outside of the group that we'd established with 29 rounds. So I again measured 30 rounds and then fired a 31st round. So the 31 round group represents this bullet in here as well. 30 round group is, I did fire 30 rounds that all fell within this box. That measures at 1.19 inches, which is really good with a 0.36 inch mean radius. Our 31 round group falls into 1.59 inches. Now, what we wanted to see for improvement is a group 1.75 inches or better from the previous group. So previous, we need to be either 1.75 or 2.52, depending on if you want to include the flyer or not. Either way, we are significantly better. So if you're going to shoot a lot of 77 grain high pressure ammunition, facing the receiver and bedding it in place certainly helps. But by no means is this an unworkable gun with good ammo. This is still, this is really, really cool. But even if we took, say, our B group, or our A group rather, or our 69 grain group, any of these groups with match grade ammo is good enough for you to hit stuff out to 600 meters and not have to worry about system precision. There are other things that will obviously come into play, but the raw mechanical precision is definitely there. So I hope that's been helpful for you as to the effects of what you do when you build your upper. My takeaway from this, I've never done any of this to an upper before. And when I build guns for shooting, just anything performance oriented, it's super low effort and super low cost to face and bed the receiver. So it's something that I'm going to start doing. I can't recommend the UB1669 barrel highly enough. This gun is also fantastically light and flat shooting because it was designed for shooting IPSC rifle and 3-gun. The only reason to go with something heavier now would just be that you actually want the weight to help with a precision-dominated sport like gas gun matches, or it's functioning as primarily a DM rifle and not a high-speed general-purpose rifle that you're shooting at 10 yards and 600 yards. So, hope that's been helpful. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's certainly been a project that I've enjoyed doing. And if you like this, well, follow the channel for more, I guess.